Hello, I am Sirium, and these are 4 underrated beat-em-up games that deserve more attention. All of the games on this list are playable on modern systems, with the exception of the first. Number 1, God Hand. Released by Clover Studio in 2006 and published by Capcom for the PlayStation 2, this beat-em-up was one of the console's best action games. Although upon release, the game garnered mixed reviews, and of course, IGN's notoriously bad take. Even so, there were those who saw this game for the diamond in the rough it was. Rap Florence, the presenter of the Video Gaiden, concluded his review of the game by stating, "What an epitaph for Clover Studio! We made one of the best games of all time, and it was just a game about punching people, and he was certainly right." The plot follows Jean, a martial artist wielding the legendary weapon the God Hand against the 4 divas, a group of villains who want to resurrect Engra, an ancient demon who was defeated by previous God Hand users. The combat mechanics, however, are by far the best point of this game. One of the primary criticisms of this game is the difficulty, which many consider frustrating and just borderline unfair. The game has 3 main difficulty modes, each one affecting the level of the dynamic difficulty system. Similar to Resident Evil 4, in God Hand, how well you are doing will lower or raise the difficulty. This system has 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and the aptly named DIE. This system rewards skilled players while taking it easy on the new guy, or as close to easy as this game gets. When starting the game, you will quickly find that there is no tutorial, and to understand the move list, you need to go to the menu. Speaking of moves, this game has over 100, with different attack properties such as hitting your foes multiple times, launching the enemy, filling your tension gauge, and juggling enemies and breaking the guard states of enemies. Still not impressed. I found a flowchart online just on the guard breaking mechanic in this game. You have 3 face buttons to attack and equip techniques to, several fixed special moves, and a context-sensitive button for certain situations, such as pummeling or spanking enemies. You move around using the left stick in RE4-like tank control scheme, with the camera fixed behind you. This leaves the right stick available for evasion moves, of which there are 4 of: left, right, duck, and most commonly abused by new players, backdash. You can collect orbs that let you perform several special moves with unique effects on enemies such as instant stun or a kick to the balls. Just don't try it. You have a tension gauge that fills up as you attack enemies, or when you collect one of these cards. When filled up, this gauge lets you unleash the power of the God Hand for increased damage and brief invincibility. The enemies consist of thugs that wouldn't look out of place in Fist of the North Star, whip-wielding dominatrices, robots, knife-wielding assassins, wrestlers, very straight wrestlers, and a literal gorilla. Upon defeating a common enemy, there is a random but sometimes scripted chance a demon with the power of a mini-boss will appear. Although defeating these foes is a challenge, your success will be rewarded with new moves to learn and lots of cash to spend on bonus moves or upgrades, or just gamble it away on the Chihuahua races. There is also a boss battle at the end of each chapter against one of the powerful 4 divas, as well as a multitude of mini-boss fights where you face off against evil rock stars, powerful robots, very straight wrestlers, and the guys who cut off your original arm. Besides a main campaign, the game also has a shop where you can buy moves, health and combo upgrades, a casino where you can wager it all, and a fighting ring where you can win cash prizes. If you are looking for a single-player brawler with a long campaign for the genre and an incredibly deep, albeit challenging combat system, God Hand is your game. Number 2, Final Vendetta. This game, made by the Studio Bitmap Bureau, is one giant homage to classic beat-em-ups like Final Fight and Streets of Rage. The story is incredibly familiar for the genre, with the main character's sister being kidnapped and you and a potential co-op partner fighting your way through 6 levels, each followed by a boss fight. The combat in this game is pretty standard, with you having a jump, attack, and special button, as well as the welcome addition of a block button. You also have access to a special move that hits multiple enemies around you by pressing jump and attack at the same time. Although using this move comes at the cost of a small portion of your health bar, you can perform the move for free if your super meter, which you build by attacking enemies, is fully charged. This game is quite difficult, giving players the challenge that the genre was known for back in the day. There are no modern quality of life features either to make it easier, with you having 5 or 7 lives depending on the difficulty and having to restart from the beginning if you die. On the other hand, this makes completing the game all that more rewarding. Upon completion, you can unlock bonus features such as a harder difficulty, boss rush mode, and training mode. Though I feel like training mode would be more useful before you've beaten the game, especially with how hard some of the later stages can be. The one downside to this game is that it costs $25 on Steam, which is a bit much for such a short game, which assuming you don't die can be completed in around an hour, but you can just buy it when it goes on sale. If you are looking for a short entry with crisp combat and great music that perfectly encapsulates the challenge of some of the genre's best, look no further. Number 3. Fight and Rage. Released in 2017, this chibi-style beat-em-up takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity must fight against animalistic mutants. You play as one of 3 characters, Ricardo, a bull similar to Hager from Final Fight, Ep Norris, a ninja, and Gal, a high-kicking martial artist. The plot has several branching paths that can have you fight against different enemies or bosses, as well as several choices you can make that affect the story. While playing, you can earn coins, which you can then spend at the in-game shop, managed by a lovely cat girl to unlock skins for characters, playable enemies, the soundtrack, and a training mode, which has combo trials for each character. The combat in this game is best described as easy to learn, hard to master as it will take time to learn how to counter the attack pattern of certain enemies. To fight against the hordes of fiendish furries and the occasional human, you have an attack button, a jump button, and a special button. Despite the simple control scheme, this game has more depth than you would think, with combat mechanics inspired by fighting games. You can parry enemy attacks by tapping forwards, similar to Street Fighter 3, as well as grab enemies to throw them into other enemies, letting you combo the whole group. You can also use dash and jump attacks, and you have a ground and air special, which you can use for free when your SP meter fills up, or anytime you want in exchange for a small amount of health. Your special meter can also be filled by successfully parrying. In addition, each of the 3 main characters has a hidden special move. Pickups include the usual health refills as well as throwable daggers and shuriken, with the occasional pipe or sword. Although the game is overall quite difficult, it does automatically save at checkpoints. With its beautiful pixel graphics and optional CRT filter, this game certainly looks great, especially considering it was made by a single developer. Overall, if you're looking for a challenging beat-em-up that has local co-op for up to 3 players, this is one solid pick. The next game on this list is by far the most recent entry, released in 2024. Maiden Cops is a beat-em-up developed by Pippin Games Studio, the makers of Wife Quest and Kawaii Desu Desu. The game has both a 2-player local co-op mode and a single-player leaderboard mode. The story follows 3 Monster Girl policewomen fighting against the Liberators, a political faction that has taken over Maiden City. This beat-em-up has one of the best combat systems of the genre, having special moves, a block button, parrying, and several grapple moves, and a wall bounce, meaning that punching your enemies off-screen is a thing of the past. Each of the 3 playable characters has 3 special moves and come with their own strengths and weaknesses. Nina Usagi is fast, but has low health, and has 3 kick-based special moves that hit horizontally, vertically, and in the air. Priscilla Salamander is the most well-balanced of the cast, and has a spinning flame kick and her blue flamed fists of fury, as well as a sexy tail slam. Mega Holster has the most health, but this comes at the cost of speed. Her special moves consist of a powerful punch, a ground slam, and turning into a chocolate shake of destruction. Mega also has the unique ability to weaponize the large pillars and steel beams in the ground that can be found throughout the levels. The other weapons in this game, for the most part, consist of the typical beat-em-up fare: pipes, baseball, bats, and knives. The game has 7 stages, with each stage consisting of fighting your way through several areas filled with enemies, followed by a boss battle. Throughout the levels, you can pick up dropped objects, such as jewelry, food items that refill your health, purses, food items that don't give you health, and the panties of your enemies, which give you cash. Depending on how well you and your co-op partner performed on the levels, you will earn more cash, which you can then spend on outfits for each character, new music, character backstories, cheat codes, and pinups of all the characters and bosses. This is how you get people to replay your game. It's not rocket science. The pixel art and animations are gorgeous, for more reasons than the obvious, as the stages have several background details, and and the soundtrack fits the fast-paced gameplay well. Overall, this underrated beat-em-up was one of 2024's best. These were 4 underrated beat-em-up games that deserve more attention and fan art. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on what video ideas that you would like to see in the next video.